What's up, guys? Spiritual Fit Chick here, coming to you from my studio in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today I'm going to show you a couple exercises that are really simple to do with just a single set of dumbbells. So you can do this in the gym if you have dumbbells at home. It's a great little circuit where you hit pretty much all the major muscle groups on your upper body. And if you are doing them with a heavy enough weight, not too heavy that you can't keep, correct form, but if you're doing them with a heavy enough weight, you'll also really get that heart rate up, which is kind of what you want when you're doing lifting. Unless you're training to be a strength athlete, you want your lifting to serve multi-purposes, which is getting your heart rate up, challenging your balance, your stability, and building those muscles and working on that tone and definition as well. So I'm going to show you a couple things, and then we're also going to do a few little core moves on the floor, as well as one final stretch that I recommend doing throughout the day, and especially after you train upper body when all those muscles are nice and warm. So let's do it. All right, so here we just have a basic bicep hammer curl. So you want to try to squeeze your elbows into the side of your body and make sure your elbows aren't moving behind the torso. So from the side, you can see they're glued into one spot. My shoulders aren't swaying back and forth. Nice and controlled, keeping that core really tight here. Next is an overhead press. Same thing, core really tight. You want to squeeze the glutes. Make sure you're touching the weight at the top, bringing down just below parallel. And making sure your hips don't shift too much forward here. People have a tendency to lean and arch their back. You want to be nice and upright here. Next is a bent over row. Super important that you have a really flat back here. You do not want a rounded back. Get those elbows nice and high. Keep the elbows flush towards the torso. You don't want them flaring or winging out to the side. And I'm doing 10 reps of everything here, which is the number I'd recommend. Here is a tricep extension. What's important here is that you do not let those elbows flare out and that you have equal weight on both the left and right side. It's easy to stack one hand higher than the other and then one arm's doing more than the other, and you don't want that. So make sure to just put, those two fingers around the head of the dumbbell and balance it really well. Here we have a floor chest press. Dogs are optional for distractions and resistance. So this one, you want the line from your shoulder to your elbow to be super straight out. You don't want the elbows down in towards the torso or up past the shoulder. Press them to touch the end of the dumbbells together and nice and smooth. You also want the line from the elbow to the wrist to be straight up. And here's going to be a little torso move, opposite arm to opposite leg. Leg stays straight, arm stays straight. Just come up as far as you can. If you can't come up all the way like that, that's no problem. Just do a crunch and reach as far as you can. Again, dogs are optional. They certainly make a workout more adorable. So again, 10 each side here. I may or may not have done exactly 10. I was a little distracted, but you get the point. And also, don't let that foot that's coming up, don't let it touch the ground in between sets. That's going to keep those lower abs activated. And then this one, you want to situate your hands not under your hips, but just sort of around the sides of your hips to sort of stabilize. Legs stay as straight as you can keep them, and just lower one leg at a time. And you want to bring your neck up just a little bit so that you're in a sort of a crunch position where you're locking those abs in. Otherwise, your back will tend to arch too much. So just breathe and keep the torso nice and flat. And then this is the final stretch. It's like a cat-cow. Just arch your back up, stretch all of those muscles really good. Walk it back into like a child's pose. Really push those fingers into the ground and stretch that upper back. And then walk up slowly, lace the fingers behind, and stretch that chest really good. This is the one I recommend if you sit at a desk a lot to do throughout the day and kind of roll the neck. So that's it, guys. Do 10 sets of everything, several rounds, And the quicker you can do them back to back without rest, the better off you'll be. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.